there I am. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to try that again because I think most people are distracted and busy chatting. Good morning, everyone. Yes, there we go. And good morning to those of you who are with us online this morning. Thank you for joining us. I am Reverend Mary Murray Shelton, the community spiritual leader here at Golden Gate. I'm delighted to welcome you to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living this morning. We're going to have a wonderful morning, a wonderful day. And so now that you're all seated and quiet and absolutely focused, I'd like you to stand up and mix yourselves all up. So here's what I want you to do. Because it's important to us that everybody is welcomed, stand up, walk around, introduce yourselves to people you don't know, welcome each other, and those of you at home, take a moment to give yourself a hug, get another cup of coffee. We'll be right back in a moment and do our opening song. Wait, I want to say something before we start. Yeah. Okay, come on back. All right. This is a very unruly group of people we have here this morning. They're completely out of control. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you're all feeling welcome. So oh my goodness. Is it because it's 4th of July weekend that everybody's so unruly? I love it. Are you all deaf after the fireworks? Is that what it is? Yes. I thought so. Okay. So this morning is very special for us because we have Daniel Nahmod here live this morning. Our dear famous friend who has sold well over 100,000 CDs and had music on Saturday Night Live, The Voice, American Idol, the Super Bowl, the Today Show, everybody knows his music. So we're going to sing with him this morning, one that we already know, Swing Wide the Doors. You'll see the words up on the screen, and take it away, Daniel. Please stand.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. One more time. It's about love. It's about laughter. It's about comfort and smiles. It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. It's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors. The time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. One more time. Swing wide the doors. The time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Woo-hoo. Yay. Thank you, Daniel. All right. Now that we have sung and said hello and settled down, I'm going to invite you to silence your cell phones so we don't have any distractions during the service. And you might want to do that at home too so you don't get interrupted. And we're going to center within right now. So we've joined together in many ways, and now we join together in consciousness within for this opening prayer. So Marilyn Letzos, our morning practitioner, is going to come up to pray us in, and Daniel is going to give us a little intro to it.
Find my God, I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Want to sing that with me? I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day, I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Once more. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God.
So coming within ourselves to that deep invitation, that beckoning of love. Come within, come home to the all that is. Come home to the love that wants to express through and as each beloved being. Come home to the truth that always sets us free, that no matter what we think we are, in God, we are always more. And this more of life, the richness, the gifts of spirit, peace, joy, wisdom, wholeness, radiant, vibrant wholeness, an infinite supply of good. I give thanks this day, this wonderful day, for the infinite possibility of this day, the infinite possibility of what can happen as we sing a song. Doors open, and Spirit is waiting always, always, because we cannot escape from this source of all that is. It is the reality of my being and every being. And as this is true for me, it is always true for everyone, that love and grace are a thought away, that God is right here, right now. And so as I give thanks for this day, I give thanks for this service, for that healing thought that transforms lives, for that experience of transcendent love lifted by music as we look into each other's eyes and find God smiling back. I give thanks for community this day, for peace and joy and love and wholeness, and so much more. I give thanks for that shift that changes everything. And so it is.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God. I'll go inside to find my God. It isn't like I've always wondered what I was made of, or is this really me? I've only recently discovered I've always stood in the shadows of expectations of me. Well, now that I see there's no judge, there's no jury. Now that I know I can take my own road, I feel a freedom that I have never known. It's about unbecoming what I never was. It's about unlearning what was never true. It's about unbelieving all the lies that I've been told. Unbecoming is the story of my soul. Everybody's name is given. Nobody asks us who we really are. But after so many years of living, you wouldn't think the answer would still feel so far. I'm slow, I'm smart, I'm accounting, I'm art, I'm left brain or right, I'm a morning person or night. Well, maybe it's time to step outside those lines, see who I find. 'Cause it's about unbecoming what I never was. It's about unlearning what was never true. It's about unbelieving all the lies that I've been told. Unbecoming is the story of my soul. The scariest thing is offending, disappointing everyone's vision of who I should be. But the only way home is to fly on my own till I know, till I see. It's about unbecoming what I never was. It's about unlearning what was never true. It's about unbelieving all the lies that I've been told. Unbecoming is the story of my soul. Unbecoming is coming home.
Thank you, Daniel. Yeah. So we're in a new month here now, the month of July, and our theme for this month is meeting the inner deep. We all have within us an essence that is purely unadulterated presence of the divine. And then everything else goes on top of that, all of our beliefs, all of our ideas, what we've taken on in this life, all of our roles, everything anybody's ever taught us, everything we believed about our family or about ourselves, we pile that all on top. But the essence, the heart, the original spark of our being is that infinite presence. And as we grow through the process of our lives, we get more and more familiar with the things that we do over and over again, or the things that become our expertise. And sometimes when we enter into what has become our expertise, we get kind of crystallized and anchored in it in such a way that we think we know, which is ridiculous. We think we know. We think we know what's going to happen today. We think we know what we're going to do in the next 5 minutes. And maybe we do, but it could be entirely different than that at the same time. So sometimes our confidence and our certainty becomes sort of a cemented arrogance where we're not really available to learn. We're not really available to question what we already know or to stretch ourselves. That becomes challenging and more often put aside. There's a story, many good stories actually, in a little book called Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. Here's one of them. Tanzan and Aikido were once traveling down a muddy road. A heavy rain was still falling. Coming around a bend, they met a lovely girl in a silk kimono and sash, unable to cross the intersection. "Come on, girl," said Tanzan at once, and lifting her in his arms, he carried her over the mud. Aikido did not speak again until that night when they reached a lodging temple, and then he could contain himself no longer. "We monks don't go near females," he told Tanzan, "especially not young and lovely ones. It is dangerous. Why did you do that?" "I left the girl there," said Tanzan. "Are you still carrying her?" So when we do not meet the moment and meet the needs of the moment because we're so anchored in what we think we already know, then there was an opportunity for us, an opening that we missed somehow. And the universe will often provide us with some kind of painful response to that kind of gives us a clue that maybe we missed the point of that moment. And so we experience pain as a result, the way that this conflict between the two of them was affecting Aikido. But all of the discomfort that was happening inside of him because he had a judgment about an action that Tanzan had taken and what was right and appropriate versus what the moment presented in terms of its need. This can be a challenge for us when we're seeking our inner deep. Carl Jung said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." And so this is the task for us to look within. So this month, I'm taking on looking and meeting the inner deep, and today the theme is first look within. First look within. Benjamin Franklin said once, "He who falls in love with himself will have no rivals." And he went on to say, "A man wrapped up in himself makes a very small bundle." Sometimes our self-importance, even in those of us that don't have a lot of self-esteem, we can have these moments where we're in a self-important place. And maybe it makes us feel more secure, more safe to be in that place, but it also shuts down a lot of possibilities. Thomas Merton said, "Pride makes us artificial. Humility makes us real." And one of the things I notice is whenever you're having a conversation with a person who is sharing something that they're wrestling with, something that's challenging, that they don't know an answer to, that they're open to learning or finding out more, or they're feeling confused or embarrassed or even humiliated, that is the point at which something new can burst into flower, something new can come forward. That humility, when we encounter it, makes us feel closer to that person because we can relate to their own experience and acknowledgement of not knowing everything. We've been there. We've fallen down plenty of times and had other people witness us falling down. One of my mentors told us that becoming a minister was receiving a license to learn in public. Which means that, when you are less than perfect, somebody in your congregation will tell you, for sure. And sometimes people will correct you about all sorts of unusual things. I used to have people tell me what kind of jewelry I ought to wear, or what color nylons I ought to wear, or, just all kinds of stuff. I remember Reverend David Bruner, who at one point was the youngest minister in our movement, in his mid-20s. And David's retired now, but David's very mischievous person. So somebody came up to him once, some woman, and she criticized his tie. And he said, "Thank you. My mother is still living." Probably David is the only person who could get away with saying that to somebody, looking like a young man there, saying something cheeky in response, but fortunately she laughed. She got it, right? When we are looking within, The book of Proverbs says, pride leads to destruction and arrogance to downfall. Isn't it always true that at the point that we get our most puffed up, something will happen to puncture us and let all that extra air out, you know? And those are the universe's moments of love, actually, giving us an opportunity to start again. You know, Daniel was singing that unbecoming is the story of his soul. And I've said a number of times in here that letting go seems to be the theme of my life. And I think maybe letting go is really the key thing. It's not letting go of what we know, because it's important that we be able to practically apply what we know and to use it and to build on it, but also to hold it lightly, with the possibility that something else will come forward that either sets that all aside or sheds a new light on it so that we have a different interpretation of what it means. I don't know who wrote this, but I enjoy it. This is a short quiz that consists of 4 questions to tell you if you're qualified to be a manager in any field. The questions are not difficult. Question 1, how do you put a giraffe into a refrigerator? The correct answer is open the door, put the giraffe in, and close the door. This question tests whether you tend to do simple things in an overly complicated way. Number 2, how do you put an elephant into a refrigerator? The wrong answer is open the refrigerator, put in the elephant, and close the door. The correct answer is open the refrigerator door, take out the giraffe, and put in the elephant, and close the door. This tests your ability to think through the repercussions of your actions. Number 3, the Lion King is hosting an animal conference, and all the animals attend except one. Which animal does not attend? Yes, the correct answer is the elephant. The elephant is in the refrigerator. Yes, this question tests your memory. Good memories out there. Okay, even if you did not answer the first 3 questions correctly, you still have one more chance to show your abilities. Question 4, there is a river you must cross, but it's inhabited by crocodiles. How do you manage it? The correct answer is you swim across. All the crocodiles are attending the animal conference. This tests whether you learn quickly from your mistakes. According to Anderson Consulting Worldwide, about 90% of the professionals they tested got all 4 questions wrong. But many preschoolers got several correct. Anderson Consulting says this conclusively disproves the theory that most managers have the brains of a 4-year-old. So this is about our ability to laugh at ourselves, to see something differently, to look into ourselves with self-reflection. Self-reflection is not just focusing on our flaws, and it isn't self-aggrandizing. It's looking honestly to determine, you know, where can I grow? What do I know? What am I learning? What's possible within what I'm learning here? Is there more for me to know, or do I need to make adjustments? So what we're really doing is seeking our own inner deep. We all have it. Unfortunately, our minds are so busy in the world at this time that there's very little silence. And that silence is when we encounter that inner deep. So as I said a few weeks ago when I was talking about the telepathy tapes, that podcast, the nonverbal autistic people who communicate with their teachers or their parents telepathically would often communicate to the parent, even, you know, typing out on their letterboard, quiet your mind. I can't reach you when your mind is so active and so busy and so full. There's no way to get to you. And the truth is, our own inner deep is very quiet. It doesn't force itself on us. Those revelations come at moments when we're very quiet, or we have to let go and we're a little lost. Those are the moments when things show up. Now, we can encourage that if we have a certain level of curiosity, if we are outgrowing our own self-absorption, which we all need as children to learn and discover and explore and be. But within is really the only place to look to find these things. There may be pointers outside of us in other people that we know or other situations we encounter, but the real truth is inside of us. And that's the most dependable truth we can find because it lives in our very essence there. Vernon Howard said, "The great solution to all human problems is individual inner transformation." Now, how do we become transformed if we're not available to actually even look? If we're so busy that we're all outward in our lives, in our experience, we're missing the greater part of our own beingness when that happens. Nathaniel Brandon said, "The first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance." You know, when we become aware of the whole of ourselves, we can be very proud of what we've accomplished. We can also be sort of embarrassed and shocked by how petty and small we can be. Anybody ever notice that about yourself? Do you ever have a moment where you think, boy, that was really low, that was really little, what I just did or what I just said or what I just thought? Anybody ever have that go by? Yeah, where you think, that wasn't very good of me. I could have done better. Carl Jung says, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." So we're looking today into our own hearts to see what's there. Now, one of the questions that arises that Ernest Holmes addressed is, do we need to suffer? Is that necessary? One of the things that I notice is that when I go to be with someone who is very ill, who's potentially getting ready to make their transition to the next life to go on, there is very often an openness, a curiosity, almost an innocence, a childlike innocence about what is coming next, because nobody really can tell us for sure what it is. And so in that availability, there's a willingness to consider, to be curious, to ask questions, to really feel a desire to know what we don't know, or to be prepared for whatever is next. We don't necessarily know what's next. But both Ernest Holmes and Eckhart Tolle say the answer to this question is both yes and no, which I think is always the answer to all metaphysical questions. Yes and no. We seem to need to experience pain and challenge and struggle and difficulty in order to open, in order to let go. And I'm getting an image in my mind now of peonies. You know why peonies are able to bloom? Because the tight bud that surrounds them, the encasing, is eaten away by ants. And that allows the flower to open up. Now, when I first had peonies, we thought we needed to put out ant killer, and somebody told me, don't do that. Don't do that. You'll be interfering with the process that peony needs in order to blossom, in order to be what it needs to be in the world. Abraham Maslow, who talked about self-actualization of human beings and what qualities were necessary for us to be self-actualized, said one can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. That's not good news to the 23-year-old me. At that age, I was ready to have it all figured out, to not make any more mistakes, to not have to live with any self-doubt or screw-ups or embarrassments or self-revealing goof-ups, I guess. And yet, every year that I've lived since then, reveals to me that it's safe to not know and to be afraid of finding out what's next. It's normal. That's what we're supposed to do. My grandson just turned 18. He moved out of his dad's house. He's living at his mom's house now. My son, his dad, was not happy about him moving out. And I said to Luke, you know, when you were 18 and you got that tattoo and I was so upset, or the next year when you got your tongue pierced and your father lost his mind, I said, at that time, a neighbor of ours who was a retired or formerly had been a young adult therapist said to me, Mary, this is the developmental stage he's in. This is exactly what he's supposed to do. This is the age where he needs to explore and experiment and make a lot of dumb mistakes. If he doesn't do it until he's in his middle 30s, it will be a mess. This is the time. So I said to Luke, this is the time for Toby to do this, to make decisions, to make choices, to make mistakes. And it may be painful for you to witness, but you can't get in the way of that person's lessons, that person's explorations, that person's mistakes. Does this make sense? Any of you who are parents out there, does this make sense? Yeah. And so the thing I didn't say to him is that it's true for you as a parent for the rest of their lives, that whatever developmental stage they're in, whatever decisions they're making that you wish they wouldn't make, those are theirs. You get to deal with your reactions to them. Yeah? We've all experienced that if we are raising kids or we have raised kids. So Viktor Frankl said an interesting thing. Now, this man who survived the concentration camps said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And what he was talking about included the time that he was in the concentration camp where he was learning to choose, how do I want to meet this moment? How do I want to hold this experience? What will set me free inside in the way that I respond to this, and what will imprison me more? What is the highest choice that I can make? Now, he may not have used any of those words in the process, but this faces us multiple times every single day. We have something before us, and we can choose to either react to it in a negative way or take a breath and respond to it. And many of the times during the day, we will make the reaction choice. It will happen so fast, it won't even seem like it was a choice. It's just an automatic reaction. But there will be moments when it dawns on us just for half a second that we could make a different choice. And that's where all the juice and the power is, in that moment where we decide, in that tiny little moment that's ours. This is hard to hear. Eckhart Tolle said, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could spare them from all suffering? No, it wouldn't. They would not evolve as human beings and would remain shallow, identified with the external form of things. Suffering drives you deeper. Is suffering really necessary, he says? Yes and no. If you had not suffered, as you have, there would be no depth to you, no humility, no compassion. Suffering is necessary until you realize it is unnecessary. He says the whole essence of Zen consists in walking along the razor's edge of now. To be so utterly, so completely present that no problem, no suffering, nothing that is not who you are in your essence can survive in you. In the now, in the absence of time, all your problems dissolve. Suffering needs time. It cannot survive in the now. So when we meet this moment, right now, we could say, well, I'm clothed, I'm not hungry, I'm a reasonable temperature, I'm with people I feel relatively safe with, this is a joyful morning. In this now moment, there's absolutely nothing I need differently. This moment is perfect, just as it is. But what about facing moments where we're in the midst of conditions like Viktor Frankl was? Could we still look at that and find this now moment when I am alive and can connect with my essence? Is this now moment less than this one? It's a difficult question. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, when we stand in front of a mirror, it reflects our image automatically, does it not? The reflection is identical and completely corresponds with the object in front of it. The reflection in the mirror did not put itself there. We cannot rub it out. We could deny it or affirm its opposite, or will or wish or pray or supplicate for it to go away. But as long as we stand in front of the mirror, that object will be exactly reflected. However, as the object changes, the reflection changes. It is just that way in our lives and in our experiences. The object is our thought. The mirror is as the law of mind. If there are those things in our lives which ought not to be there, they are what we have given to the law of mind, and we are receiving back their correspondence, their reflection. So we have to get busy and change the object, the pattern of our own thinking, our inward state of awareness. It isn't until we begin to embrace an up-leveled state of awareness, an up-leveled attitude toward life, an up-leveled vision of ourselves and other people, that we begin to find our inner life changing. And that inner life, as it changes our relationship to everything and everyone, and can change our experience as well as our interpretation of what life is all about. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, the secret place of the Most High is not a location, but a state of thought, an interior awareness, a spiritual faith. And we know that when we're activating our humility, our depth, our compassion, then we become more aware of the letting go and the power of coming back into now without carrying all those complaints into the now moment. You know, once in a while now, what happens to me, I have a thought and I'm just about to say it, and it occurs to me, I don't need to say that. I don't need to put that out. I don't need to make that more real than it already is in my head. It's taken me in a direction that I don't really want to go. So I think I'll just leave that out of the conversation. And there is something that lifts off a little bit in me when I decide to do that, something that allows me to feel a little more connected to the person and the moment. So when its work is done, when suffering has done for us what it can do for us, then it can lift off. I remember Ram Dass telling a story many years ago about visiting a woman who was dying of cancer, and she was in a lot of pain. And she said to him, this business of dying is so boring, it's just endless. And he said to her, well, that's because you're giving all your time to it. He said, couldn't you die 10 minutes an hour and then engage in something else the rest of the time? Now that sounds ridiculous, but that's what she started to do. She would put her attention somewhere else during the other 50 minutes of the hour. He said the next time he saw her, she was in so much pain her physical body could not be still. She was writhing. But spiritually, emotionally, she was beatific. She was radiant. And she was happy. Who would ever think you could be happy in excruciating pain? But she had stopped trying to focus on dying and was inhabiting the now moment. She was still alive, so she was living. It's an amazing transformation how one idea can shift everything in our lives, can turn everything around, can suddenly reveal to us the greater depth of who we are. So meeting that inner deep requires of us that we be willing to let go of being anchored into what we're so right about. All of the conditions, all the problems, all the opinions, all the upsets, all the they should and I wish they would and why don't they, and turn it back to, well, how can I lift up right now? In this now moment, what can I do right this second, right now, that will lift me up, that will move me forward into a greater openness, into meeting my own inner deep? Well, that self-reflection, that deeper awareness of all of who I am and accepting all of who I am, that deeper awareness grows from self-reflection. And as it grows in that self-reflection, we begin to become free of the conditions we're in the middle of that are bugging us or driving us crazy, because we're creating inner peace by our mental choice, by our action of thought or emotion. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine somebody you love very deeply. It could be a parent or a sibling, a friend, a child, a grandchild. Just think for a moment of somebody you love deeply and imagine seeing each other with such great joy at coming together, and imagine yourself hugging that person. Imagine the warmth and the love and the kindness that you feel toward them. All right, now you can open your eyes. There was a shift in the space when you did that. I don't know if you can feel the difference now, but I can. It feels two things. It feels quieter, and it feels like there's more light radiating from us in the space, just by that one moment of experiencing the closeness of loving somebody in that way. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote in Living the Science of Mind, the kingdom of heaven means the kingdom of harmony, of peace, of joy, and of wholeness. It is an inward kingdom. Heaven is not a place, but an inward state of consciousness. It is an inward awareness of divine harmony and truth. That can free us from that experience of suffering and bring us a sense of inner peace, even if the conditions never change. This is finding the pearl of great price, the kingdom of God within. And it is our willingness to look a little silly or discover something new or try something different or expand a perception that we had that begins to set us free. In the Gospel of Luke, it says, once on being asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, Jesus replied, the coming of the kingdom of God is not something that can be observed, nor will people say, here it is, or there it is, because the kingdom of God is in your midst. It's already here, around us and within us. But in order to see it, in order to experience it, we have to be willing to let go of all of those decisions and opinions we're so right about that cause us so much pain and difficulty. We have to make space for the more that is unknown to us as yet. This morning, as I was eating breakfast, I was wandering through my social media, and I came across this story. And it says, this is my friend Harold. Not the guy in the man lift, but the man behind him sitting quietly in his wheelchair on the sidewalk. Harold lives in the nursing home just across the street from our job site. Since day one, he's been there every morning at 7 a.m. like clockwork. He takes lunch when we do, and he doesn't leave until I shut down the crane and head home. At first, I thought, he's just an old man enjoying the fresh air, curious maybe, just passing time. But something about his consistency got me curious too. So one day I walked over and introduced myself. The first conversation lasted over 2.5 hours, and it changed me. Harold, as it turns out, is nearing the end of his life. He's battling heart failure and a degenerative disease that's been eating away at his health for years. But before all that, Harold spent over 50 years doing exactly what I do now, operating cranes. He told me he never imagined he'd get to see one up close again, let alone watch one in action every day. It's not just a job to him, it's his life, his pride, his story. He has family, 2 daughters, a son. They haven't visited him in the 7 years he's been in the nursing home. So I made Harold a deal. He jokingly asked if I'd put him on the payroll. I told him I couldn't swing that. But here's what I could do. Every morning, I'd bring him his favorite, a black coffee. Twice a week, I'd grab lunch from anywhere that he wants for him. And at the end of each day, I sit with him so he can critique my crane work and give me pointers. Because no matter how good you think you are, there's always more to learn. And Harold? He didn't hesitate before saying, absolutely. Now, he's not just watching, he's part of the crew. He's teaching again, smiling again, living with purpose in his final days. And I guess I'm sharing this to say, don't overlook the quiet people in the background. Don't assume someone is just passing time. Walk over, say hello. You never know what kind of impact you might make or what kind of soul you'll meet. I'm so grateful that I took that step. And when the day comes that God calls Harold home, I'll find peace in knowing he spent his final chapter surrounded by something he loved and by someone who cared enough to see him. Be that someone. Make someone feel safe and seen. It might just be the most important thing you do today. And certainly, that is one way of meeting the inner deep and looking within. Namaste. Thank you. Now let's take a moment to turn within. In this here and now moment, there is only God in this place, nothing else. God is every person, God is everything. All there is that one, and we are, each one of us, the unfolding manifestation of that presence, infinite in our curiosity and creativity, infinite in our possibilities, infinite in our opportunity to open our hearts, to learn, to be, to connect. And so we dedicate this day to that opening and welcoming of the now moment, to that opening and recognizing the deep revealing itself within us and within everything around us. We meet one another with that curiosity, seeing that divine presence in each other as it's opening through this music, through the words, through the friendships, and the new acquaintances and connections. So we take this out into our day, allowing ourselves to be lifted up and open, aware, and receiving with gratitude and joy. We're so grateful to remind each other and to know this together and to be able to release this prayer into the law that goes to work on it immediately to bring it into our experience. We are grateful now, and we carry that gratitude forward into the rest of this day. we let it go, and we let it be now. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. I'd like to invite the ushers to come and surround the room now as we prepare to receive the offering. Oh, and please stand and join me for the morning affirmation. Before we do that, we do have an affirmation for the day, and here it is. Please, with me, say, something within me knows the truth. It might pull me into the unfamiliar. I surrender to this wisdom and learning. It is safe for me to question my own opinions and go deeper. I'm willing to learn, and so it is. Now, ushers, come on. This is our sacred giving time. If you are online with us and would like to make a donation, just text the dollar amount you want to give to the number on the screen and then follow the directions. For all of us in the room, we're going to bless all of the offering, everything that's being given today in any manner, and everything that's been given in the past week to Golden Gate. We're blessing all of it, and we also recognize that every one of us, too, is the gift. So if you're bringing your gift, hold it over your heart. And if you are not, if you've given at another time, or if this is your first time here, your presence with us is your gift. Let's all put our hands over our hearts to bless us too. As we say together, this gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. Go ahead. Daniel, it's all yours.
All right, one more song for you this morning. Well, we'll close singing something together, but Mary, what a beautiful talk. I actually there are a couple of ladies who have joined me over the past few years on Facebook who are lovely people, and they tend to watch whatever service I'm participating in wherever in the country I am. And I heard from one of them this morning to tell me this is one of the most beautiful talks she'd heard. I just wanted to pass that along. Yeah. And I completely agree. I mean, it's just so, how much, sincerely, how much did we just get to think about? I mean, just, you put in a lot of work in a talk like that, and it shows, and it's really provocative and thoughtful and beautiful. It really is, yeah. So I thought in response I would just phone this in. I'm going to barely try at all on my song just to counterbalance how beautifully you did your... No, I'm kidding. All right, anyway, so thank you for having me. Nice to be here in person. I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who thought I was 8 feet tall from all your screen service. I'm tall on the inside. And I'm doing a little concert. What are we doing? We're doing I know you're going to mention it. We're doing a potluck and a concert a couple of doors down. Is it a block?
At the Sunrise Center, and it is right down Tamalpais on the other side of the street, next door to Bank of America. And you can park right there.
Is it a walk or is it a drive?
No, you should drive.
Drive, okay.
Yeah.
So we're driving a couple blocks?
Yeah, 2, 3. I don't know. What do you think? People are better at estimating that than me.
Next door to Bank of America.
Next door to Bank of America on the opposite side of Tamalpais.
And we're going to eat around noon?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
And then I'm going to sing you some songs.
Yeah.
Like 12:45. Won't hold you to. Won't be a strict time to start, but when we'll know when we're done eating.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sing you some songs for an hour and a half kind of thing. I'm going to have to dig deep because I have. If you've seen my videos here, I like to challenge myself and sing songs I haven't done for you before. But my God, I've sung a lot of songs for you.
And we like them, so it's okay.
Good. That's good.
It's okay.
Okay, good. So anyway, here, one more song. I have a little table here. I'll have a little table at the concert. That's you. Some of you know you've seen it before, but it has my music.
Come get goodies over there by the fireplace.
That's right, by the fireplace. My music and my wife's jewelry. She's a silversmith, and so this afternoon I'm hoping my aunt and uncle come to the show.
Yay.
My uncle lives in San Francisco, so that's a possibility this time, which puts extra pressure on Danny. All right, here we go. So I had about literally seven or eight songs that are coming to my mind while I'm listening to that talk. This is the one I settled on. I consider it a song truly about the unknown. It's a song of bravery, and it's a slightly dangerous song. So here we go, a song from my Water album. Thank you again, and here we go. All right. Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Yeah. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be all right, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Yeah. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Yeah. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new. So get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Wanna sing that with me? Get ready, my soul. Diving in. I'm diving in the deepest kind of love, to the deepest kind of love, the sweetest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, it's gonna be everything new. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. So we do now, all of us here, on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, accept this offering, and we send it out into the world to entice deeper self-reflection and meeting that deep wholeness. And so it is. All right, if you are here with us for the very first time this morning, this table back here is for you. All sorts of brochures and flyers and magnets and bookmarks and handouts and stuff. Feel free to pick those up, and also get yourself a welcome packet. In the welcome packet, there's a blue card. If you fill that out and give it to Galen back there, who's waving these things around up in the air as I speak, she's going to give you this little book, which is our thank you for being here this morning, and also an invitation to come back and be with us, hopefully often in the future. We look forward to getting to know you. And I want to thank everybody that helped get things together this morning and will be helping us get things together for the concert. We have a wonderful altar here from the Frost family this morning that's all about all the places that you go to get quiet, to look within, to really slow down and meet yourself. The tree of life, the garden, the presence of the Buddha. So let's acknowledge everybody and thank everybody who has set up today and got this going. And I want to let you know that we do have the Ukraine table over here this morning so that you can do encouragement cards for the kids and teachers that are over there surviving all of this. So the Ukraine table will be there, and Deborah Irwin will be over there to talk to you and answer any questions that you have. And also remind you that Daniel's table is set up and available over here, and we will have some snacks and coffee set up for you while a few of us quickly dash over to the sunrise room to get things set up for you over there. So, if it is your birthday in the month of July, and today is our Minister Emeritus Reverend Carol Huntley's birthday, and tomorrow is Joe Hughes' birthday. So if you are having a July birthday, would you please stand? Everybody whose birthday's in July. Don't be shy. Do you? Oh, great. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear July. Happy birthday to you. Woohoo! Very quickly.
Tomorrow, Ringo Starr's birthday.
Ah,
July 7th. 7/7. Tomorrow, I am 77 years old.
yay!
Peace and love globally tomorrow at noon.
Okay.
That's what Ringo wants. Tomorrow, peace and love at noon.
And you know if Ringo wants it, it's going to happen. So there we go. All right, today is a little bit in advance for Peace and Love. We've got our concert at the Sunrise Center with Daniel, and we're requesting a $20 love offering. If you don't have that, if you can't do that, we still would like you to be there. Anybody that can give more, that will help to cover those who are giving less. So we'll have a basket out at the door when you come in, and you can put in your 20 when you come, or whatever it is that you're going to give. And we're having a potluck, so hopefully you've marked all your serving utensils and everything like that. We'll have the luncheon first, and then we'll have a concert with Daniel. And if he sings songs we know, we might even sing along. So we're looking forward to that very much. Also, Coffee and Faith Sharing is coming up this week on Wednesday. at Cafe Aroma on 4th Street in San Rafael. That has been going really well. It is facilitated with Leslie Giannetti, one of our beloved practitioners. So if you feel so inclined to check it out, that is coming up this Wednesday. And it's the second Wednesday of each month at Cafe Aroma on 4th Street in San Rafael. All right. And now I'm going to invite the practitioners to surround the room as we prepare to do our closing prayer, and then we'll move into the blessing and the closing song. So let's turn within and just allow yourself to be enfolded by the consciousness of prayer all around you as we recognize the one presence is what we are. We are a manifestation of the one. And so there is nothing we need to worry about. There is nothing we need to accomplish. We simply rest in the oneness that we are and come forward from that, allowing the silence to bring to us everything we need to know, to bring to us everything we need to do, and to surrender into that willingly, allowing the great and wondrous manifestation of the divine presence to show up in all good ways in our lives as a result of our willingness. So we offer that willingness now, and we open our hearts to one another and to the music that we're going to enjoy this afternoon. And we bless all the food in advance, knowing that it nourishes our bodies and is completely calorie-free. With great gratitude, we send this out into the heart of God, where it is already the truth of us, and we simply let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. Please stand and join us for the closing, blessing, and song. As we say together, I now walk. Together, I now walk, so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God. And whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness. For spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is. And here we go. We know this one.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. One more time. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. right decision.